Welcome everyone to a casted game for Age of Empires 4! And today, spawning in the north corner of the map, playing in red, we've got Corvinus 1 playing as the Knights Templar. And up against him today, spawning in the south in blue, we've got the kid, Valdemar, playing as the Macedonian dynasty. Welcome everyone to Dry Arabia, and as always, hope you guys are having a great morning, good afternoon or good evening. And we've got two cracking civilizations, one of the newest ones and also one of the relatively new ones as well. I mean, Knights Templar, we can't really call them old. They came to us with the previous DLC, the Knights of Cross and Rose. And of course, we've got the Macedonian dynasty with the Dynasties of the East DLC. Now, we're on the bread and butter map, Dry Arabia, and there's lots to talk about. The Macedonian dynasty very quickly becoming a Castle Age powerhouse civilization, especially with the Varangian guards, the particular units. There's one in particular, really, isn't it? It's the Riddari, the essential, the Lancer replacement, the Knight replacement for the Macedonian dynasty, has a ranged, it's actually a melee attack, but it does the melee attack at range. So it throws the axes as an activatable ability, great for ambushing and taking care of back lines from your enemy. Kind of excited to see that in action today, potentially. On the other side of the map, though, Knights Templar, we know all about them. Lots of options for them, got ways to get up to the next stage through the town centre, of course. Some things have changed. Now, one thing to bear in mind, they've actually been buffed in some ways, obviously nerfed in others. The Principality of Antioch here on your right has been, the melee units now gain 15% extra damage, which is fantastic. Previously it was 10, so it has been buffed up that way. But of course, what was really powerful about the Knights Templar, especially on water maps, is the wood income, the fact that these villagers just instantly gather wood, as well as a trickle of food, but that has now been reduced in amount. Kind of curious because, of course, the Knights Templar are very much known for their cavalry, slasher cavalry when you get to the top echelons of the tiers of ages, and then you've got the Templar brothers. That could be an option for them as well, and it will be the Principality of Antioch. Corvinus already leaning to what's been buffed and boosted for the Knights Templar. What I'm excited to see is whether, really how the Knights Templar deal with the whole Riddari situation from the Macedonian dynasty. And in fact, on the Macedonian dynasty side of things, we have got the Grand Winery being built. Of course, one of two landmarks to get to the next stage, and this is going to be the economic one, going to give the extra gathering of food by 30%. Not too shabby at all. Also, by the way, if you do get relics with this landmark, you can generate silver instead, the unique resource for the Macedonian dynasty, and that silver can be used to be spent on upgrades, which is the main reason really you spend it, whether it be from the Varangian arsenal or just, that's the main one really, to be fair. But what we should also talk about is a Varangian war camp, a unique building that enables you to get reinforcements when you do lose some of your units. Right, with the scouting patterns gone through, looks like Corvinus is being on stone, suggests a second town centre play. And with the moving out to the deer now, looks like the kid, Valdemar, could potentially be thinking about the Castle Age. It's an interesting approach. Sometimes you see players go out to the deer as the first thing they do. But I think, Valdemar, knowing that there's a second town centre coming up, there's a bit of a window here where you can take that food very safe and securely. Yep, survival techniques coming in as well, just to boost that gather rate. I would like to say, by the way, a very big thank you for everyone who's been supporting the channel, whether it be on Twitch or YouTube. You guys are absolute legends. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Really helps me out on the YouTube progress, really, as a content creator, so I appreciate it. And one thing I like about the Grand Winery, by the way, not only is it great for the food income, but when you do get to the Castle Age, you can obviously make the monks, instantaneously, as long as you've got the gold for it. Really nice to be able to pick up some of those relics. And especially on a map like this and the way that the Knights Templar are being played, that we could very much see that, actually. We could see Valdemar pick up a lot of the relics. And there's the second town centre foundations. Going on the deer and the berries, a really nice spot, actually. There's gold there too. So with the woodlines, how it is, a couple of walls here and across, he should be feeling rather safe with things, which he's going to need to feel because, the Macedonian dynasty, if they get to the Castle Age at a really good time, get those Castle Age units out, Corvinus could be under a bit of pressure, but of course he's building up a strong economy behind this. We'll see exactly how much of an economy lead he's able to build up. Yeah, he's off of gold, of course. Corvinus is going to be looking to get plenty of food to supply his town centres with the food they need to get those villagers out. Yeah, I'm kind of curious because we've seen a lot of Macedonian dynasty and a lot of Castle Age play. It's going to be about how civilizations can try and stop and address that. Now he is back on gold here, so just going to be trickling in some, maybe to get some upgrades. Going to be important for the economy, not just about villages, but some upgrades could be important. The scouting from Valdemar knows exactly what he's up to. So it's going to be a relatively slow start to this game, I imagine. Of course, two strategies that don't really have much in the way of unit interaction in the early game. But of course, good things come to those who wait. It will heat up because, of course, Valdemar is very much pretty close to getting to the next stage, actually. Kind of expecting him to go for the Golden Horn landmark. Very typical choice for them. In fact, I don't... Although, you know, to be fair, System of the First Hill has been pretty decent. I feel like the Golden Horn Tower is pretty good if you're under pressure against your enemy. I feel like System of the First Hill could be a nice option for him because he's not really up against it. You know, Corvinus, 2-town centre. Going to take some time for him to get his units out. But it is always nice to have crossbows in the Castle Age. Sure, it's a defensive landmark, but you spawn every so often some crossbows. It's always nice to have it into your army. Free units, after all. You can never say no to free units. It will be the Golden Horn Tower, in fact. I'm going to go with 11 villagers. And it is actually garrisonable as well, so you can save your villagers if they're under pressure. It's a nice spot for it as well with the golden stone there in the forward position, because of course you've got the initial gold, but that generally runs out pretty quickly. Sort of 12, 14, 15 minute mark, especially if you're spending a lot on Castle Age units. And it's going to be needing to venture out a bit further forward. Corvinus looking to save up the resources he needs for the Castle Age himself. Got 6 villagers on gold. It's going to be, you know, obviously significantly slower than his enemy. And that'll give Valdemar the Kid some time to get those monks out, pick up some relics. Yeah, pretty slow start in terms of unit interactions, but things will heat up very, very soon. And I'm kind of liking this to see how this pans out because you've got Castle Age for the Macedonian dynasty. Got to have the Castle Age for the Knights Templar. I mean, the question is, what does Corvinus go up to the next age with? Like, you've got a couple of cool options. The Angevin Empire, fortresses will get an extra bit of health. You've got the Republic of Genoa, pilgrims getting more gold, this is always nice if you can get map control. And then the units near the sacred sites with the Kingdom of Castile will gain 20% damage and regenerate health. I feel like this is a very popular one, the Kingdom of Castile, because when you're out fighting on the map, if you fight near sacred sites, you're going to be in a good spot. That's a decent chunk of change there, 130 gold. With this pilgrim, going to be making a cross onto the sacred site. There's now the Castle Age in for Valdemar, and fully expecting to see the monk queued up. He does. He's waypointed onto the middle relic. Second one queued up as well. So yeah, nice tight build order to get those relics in. Yeah, will indeed be the Kingdom of Castile. So, plenty of villagers and gold, expecting to see units out soon. The question is, what production building will Corvinus go with to set things off? Not enough wood for it just yet. I'm sure that'll come in time. In fact, what's the production building for Val? Oh yeah, he's got the Varangian Stronghold, of course. It's the, well, unique building for the Macedonian dynasty. Allows them to train all of the Varangian units, and he's going to go for the Riddari, of course, to start things off. There's the first one. In fact, I think this is the first one. Oh, there's a scout there. This is the first one, making his way across and see what he's able to achieve here. Now, the walls have been placed by Corvinus, so it's nice, safe and secure, with the economy really being at the back. It's got 2 berry bushes there. Deer camp pretty much almost taken, but it's got gold to rely on as well, so it's the nice thing. It's got a lot of sheep to take underneath the main town centre, so he won't be running out of food anytime soon at least. This is where things become really interesting. I think a big part of the Castle Age powerhouse of the Macedonian dynasty is because of the Varangian arsenal. It's a building that's got all these upgrades, of course, but it essentially has 6 tiers to the blacksmith equivalent upgrades. Also, it's got a special upgrades for the cavalry. And yeah, I mean, 6 tiers is pretty crazy, especially when you consider the defensive ones. The armor also adds a 5% HP on the unit. Kind of gives you sort of a Castle Age, Imperial Age hybrid. Obviously, you're not going to get the elite units in the Castle Age, but you know, these blacksmith upgrades certainly help. is certainly more than your counterpart can get in the Castle Age in terms of upgrades. And we see the Templar brothers coming out, really known for their charge, as well as, well, the fact that what I love about this unit is I feel like they're going to be able to challenge the Riddari, and in large numbers, they can do some great work. There's going to be a lot of chasing around, considering the cavalry side of things. Scale barding is in play now for the Macedonian dynasty. Can be giving that extra bit of strength for his cavalry, the extra armor and the HP. It's going to go for the rump fire as well. This is actually really important technology. We see a lot of players prioritizing this because it gives you an additional 3 damage. Fortunately, Valdemar unable to pick up this relic in the end. Now the production buildings, safe at home. 2 stables, got the blacksmith upgrade as well. So the blacksmith 2 get upgrades rather. The Templar brothers are now starting to mass up. This is where it kind of becomes interesting, right? Because got the better economy for Corvinus, and he should be able to pump out units. Just needs to make sure it doesn't take any super unfavorable fights early on. The kid, once he's got the relics, may need to think about, well, getting a second town center himself, or going for some really big, strong pushes. And yeah, it will indeed be the second town center to try and catch up on the economy a little bit. The relics will help buffer in terms of the villager deficit that he has compared to Corvinus. Templar brothers do charge on in. Farms around the back, so slowly transitioning onto the farms for the more secure, safer long-term food options. And it's actually kind of surprising because he's, to be fair, it's really difficult to do damage against this sort of base layout that Corvinus has. Because yeah, you can have units, but where do you hit if you're Valdemar, right? Everything's behind palisades. Now it's going to get another 2 relics. It's kind of crazy actually. Valdemar, we talked about him definitely having an advantage on picking up those relics, but he's already got 3. Another one on the way. Potentially could challenge for the 4th. I'm not so sure if Corvinus has enough Templar brothers here. Although he does have the monk out, so he might be able to snag 1 at least. Be a bit dicey, definitely going to challenge for it. And try and pick off the reinforcements. Yeah, but with the units going this direction, I think Valdemar must be aware that relic is going to be challenged for. Although this is a decent chunk of Templar brothers, I think it could be okay to fight this. I think the Riddari do need to back away. Valdemar not taking any chances. Unfortunately, he'll have to play a 4 relic game. Not bad overall. And he's got his second town centre set up as well, so it's going to be in a good spot. Now, from here on in, where do we think Corvinus is going to go? Could potentially think about, well, we've got 3 options, of course. Kingdom of Poland. Seeing as going for the Templar brothers, it makes a lot of sense now to go for that, right? All cavalry gain 10% extra health and 50% charge damage. That is going to be a big one. Really going to be able to utilize the hit and run tactics with that. Of course, we're nowhere near really the Imperial Age. But there's something to think about for the future, because both players are on 2 town centers, so we're not going to be that far away. Especially considering the limited units on show. Corvinus heads forward with his cavalry. Could he take a charge on here? Oh, he's got to get out of there. If he can catch him, yeah, look how much damage they do. With the charges, it's so good. He might even snipe 1 Riddari for free. Now, despite the ranged attack that the Riddari could potentially use, he's not been able to utilize it too much yet. We've got 1.62 tiles movement speed for the Templar brothers, 1.75, so yeah, I mean, obviously the Riddari should be faster, but it's the charge that really makes a difference for the short term. If they can catch up, it's huge. So it kind of gives this dynamic, right? Like, I think if you're Valdemar, you don't really want to get close unless you really convince you want to engage, because otherwise the Templar brothers charge on in and you suffer some damage. Slowly but surely continuing to get his Varangian upgrades from the arsenal. Now farms, really nicely set up here for Corvinus. A couple of idle villages, I'm sure we'll sort that out soon. But what this means, actually, Corvinus is probably going to be pedal to the metal for the next good few minutes. Producing units. He's got the economy set up for it. Valdemar a bit behind on the farm side of things. I'm sure you'll get there relatively soon. Having that second town centre earlier has just put Corvinus ahead quite significantly. 10 villages doesn't seem like a lot, but when you factor in he's been sort of that far ahead for quite some time, economy-wise, he's certainly further ahead, and doesn't really feel like Valdemar's been able to do too much damage, which he kind of needed to achieve by being behind on economy. He's getting 3 units though from the Golden Horn, which certainly helps. Sacred Site going to be captured now for the Knights Templar. Extra bit of gold trickle, and also try and counterbalance the 3 relic deficit that he's up against. Could see a pretty big raid here actually. The Templar brothers moving on in. Yeah, Corvinus getting the blacksmith upgrades as well, which will certainly help. Trouble is the wall situation for Valdemar, not great. Difficult base to wall up. He's heading back now. Might run into trouble though. Corvinus's unit numbers, they just look... The issue is that, well, yeah, Valdemar does have more units technically on paper, but a lot of them are crossbows and it's hard for them to catch up. There's this group of Knights Templar brothers. It's looking incredibly beefy. It's not a fight you want to take really with those Riddari, there's just not enough of them. Third stable out now for Corvinus. Another pilgrim? What's going on with that? Don't know if that's meant to be happening. That's weird. Oh, eventually gets there. Like glitching out on us. But now with the crossbows together, this is where it becomes interesting, right? Because Valdemar probably feels he has a massive army that he can start to push with and force the Templar brothers back. Although the Templar brothers might just have another idea and try and raid. It's always an option. Both players thinking about the gold veins in the middle. The 8,000 tile gold veins, so players will need to start venturing out, start interacting. The walls won't go up in time here. Corvinus could get some damage. Yeah, Valdemar pulls his army back. But would it be in time? That outpost, yeah, probably should go down in the end. Torches out. Does a lot of torch damage, that's for sure. Chargers on in, the chargers get some great damage. The Riddari caught here, no crossbows. And you can see what's going to happen, right? Corvinus probably going to pull his army away once the crossbows get in range. There's no need to fight it. He's done some damage and he backs away. Oh, there's the thrown axes though. Does snipe out one of the Templar brothers. Good start. And he snipes a second. Overall with the crossbows now. Oh, he's going to go for the charge. And this is an interesting interaction, right? Because the Templar brothers want to charge. They're going to charge and hit and run away. But when they do charge, if they get in range of the crossbows, it could be devastating. Oh, villagers coming forward. He's going to go for a fortress on the forward position. That's quite... I mean, to be fair, he shouldn't be spotted. Oh, he's gonna go a bit further back this time. Okay. It did feel a little bit optimistic. Especially with the crossbows there, they're not too far away. And instead, goes for the fortress here, which Valdemar would be aware of. There's not much he can do about it. Oh, behind this, look at this. Kingdom of Poland. He almost clicked the Venice one, but yeah, definitely the right option here. Kingdom of Poland is certainly what we want to see. Give him access to the slashed cavalry. But, I mean, the big thing is this bonus of the 50% extra charge damage. Not to mention the 10% extra cavalry health, of course. Take a look at the stats. 275 health versus the Riddari with a 276. So not much difference there at all. It's just going to be about the charge damage that comes out. 50 lance so far for the Templar brothers. The base damage relatively similar, but it's just all about the charge. Not the fact that he's being able to heal up with the sacred site as well. Okay, we've actually got to transition into some at-game method, which is it's a hard choice here, right? Because when you get to the late stages of games, population efficiency comes into play. We're not there yet, obviously, because we're still good far away from the 200 population capacity. But it gives Corvinus a bit of an advantage in terms of mobility. As we've seen so far, the Riddari have not been able to achieve too much because they're in lower numbers compared to the Templar brothers, and the infantry usually haven't been able to keep up. I'm going to go for the Templar headquarters, but this is the main town centre, so this will take a long time to burn down. And look at this. One of the Templar brothers coming on in, riding on in, getting some good value. Imperial Age is in for Corvinus, right? So this is where it becomes a really interesting conversation, because we've got Valdemar kind of stuck in the Castle Age. He's producing a lot of units. He's got plenty of units compared to his enemy, but he has to do damage because he's an age behind. And if he doesn't do damage, well, he needs to go up to the next stage. He's got to do one of the two. The ball really is firmly in his court. He's got to do damage or get to the Imperial Age himself. If he does neither, he's going to be in big trouble. Because meanwhile, with the addition of the slash to cavalry, take a look at this. 37 base damage, great, but look at that, 78 mace. It's absolutely huge. The HP pool on these guys, 363 HP. Yeah, the Riddari, they can't match. Certainly not in the Castle Age anyway. You can add as many of the Varangian arsenal upgrades you want. They just won't challenge. But what possibly could challenge is a massive crossbow spearman. Looks like the Macedonian dynasty are the ones that are having to adjust, react to what the Templars are doing. And we've got safe gold here as well with a lot of villagers. So actually 15 spaces here, so yeah, probably a good idea to get some outposts if you can. Charges on through with the cavalry right on top of the back line. This is the thing. You take out the crossbow numbers and then the danger really isn't here for Valdemar. He can't take this fight. He has to back away. Fortress will go up as well. That's a great engagement there for Corvinus. He's got such limited army numbers, but the quality is huge. Look at the numbers. 34 military, but the army value is bigger. It's just, yeah, it's crazy considering, you know, Valdemar's got almost 20 more units more. But he's still got lower army value. That's because of these powerhouse units charging on through, getting incredible damage, and then backing away. Not too many crossbows now, which actually hurts because, well, it means that Corvinus can just charge on in without fearing too much. I'm sure there's at-game method, but the Castle Age ones, and yeah, they get ripped apart by this. This is going to be a decent fight for Corvinus. Obviously, you know, the kids, it's going to take a decent trade, so Corvinus won't want to just stand and fight. He really wants to utilize the charge ability that he's got. Yeah, Game Method are doing good work, but in the end, it can just always retreat back to the fortress. The big thing is that, well, every time Valdemar loses units, he has to replace it, which means less resources to get to the Imperial Age himself, and therefore he's always fighting up against a better army. We start to see a transition into Springalds now, which will be great to deal with the massive infantry. Nice play there, nice touch by Corvinus. Of course, it's been changed recently. This used to be anti-siege, but actually now it's more anti-infantry. It fires bolts that pierce multiple units and has bonus damage against melee infantry, which is, of course, exactly what spearmen are. A couple of these Kaido Safans coming out now for the Macedonian dynasty. He wants to do damage. So we talked about the two options. Either do damage or get to the next stage. He's opted for the former. The question is, can he achieve it? That's a lot of cavalry. Going to go for the monk. He wants the sacred site there, understandably so. I feel like the window of opportunity here for Valdemar slowly evaporating because the Knights Templar unit numbers are starting to build. Let's take a look at the income per minute. Yeah, Valdemar's got a crazy amount of food income though. He really went hard on the farms very quickly. Going to move on in. The big thing for Corvinus really is just to deal with these Kairos If he can deal with that, nothing else is really scaring him. He doesn't have to engage if he doesn't want to. He needs to deal with these though. If he doesn't, he'll lose the fortress, and that's not what he wants. He can potentially charge in into it. It's got Springalds, and so yeah, Valdemar can't really stick around with the fight. He charges on in, gets one Kairos. They do so much damage against those, so the Kairos probably won't survive this. Oh, he moved back. Loses the second. Gonna lose the third. Oh, he can't fight this Valdemar. He has to back away. There's too many Springalds. You see, they're doing great work. Corvinus pushing further forward once again. They want to back away and get the charge again if he can. Slash to cavalry. They're so tanky. Even against a spearman or the Adgemather. See the slash to cavalry, by the way, they have a bludgeoning attack. Decreases the enemy attack speed by 20%. It's a big chunk. And he really bolstered those Springald numbers. Holy smokes! They absolutely demolished those spearmen. There's that Gemether if they can get them. Charges through once again. It's going to be fascinating. I think the Springalds just win this for him, right? It's going to thin down the numbers so much. I mean, if the front line wasn't enough, the Springalds and the back line will be. Yeah, this is not good for Valdemar. This could be a game-ending fight because Valdemar's still in the Castle Age and he can't save resources to get to the Imperial Age. He needs to make units now, otherwise he will be overrun. behind all this, by the way, Corvinus getting enough stone for a fortress. There are the villagers. They're getting pulled to establish a forward position. If we can do that, this is going to get from bad to worse here for Valdemar. No doubt about it. There's the fortress being built on up. Alright, farms are rocking and rolling. Got the Varangian strongholds in the back, but Corvinus is smelling blood. Now don't forget the fortresses can be equipped with trebuchets on them. I think, yeah, the kid has to deal with this. He's going to have to get trebuchets and siege of his own, right? Yeah, there they are. There's the first one popped out. He's got a second one queued up. So it's going to be a bit of a defensive hold for him now, but it's not really what he wants to be, right? We said 2 options, do damage or get to Imperial Age. He's not being able to do either. But if he can hold, force a bad fight, maybe there's a way back into the game for him. And these are Slashed Cavalry, Elite Templar brothers, that also now have, by the way, 363 HP. It's getting some important upgrades as well. Double fortress plate with a forward siege production building. Looking dicey. By the way, the great thing about these villages, they can just chop wood here. They're super efficient. Second trebuchet is out. Third one about to pop out. Corvinus not wanting to dive in just yet. Crossbow still being made from the Golden Horde Tower. But behind all of this, Corvinus done the right thing. He's got the Sacred Sites, which is going to give him plenty of gold. Trebuchets are up. And they're coming up on the fortress as well. But this is under siege a lot, this left-sided fortress. 3 trebuchets working on it. Did he cancel the other one? I think he did. Other than that, he lost one, but it seemed like he cancelled the 4th one. 3 seems to be enough, though. He's doing some great work, forcing the repairs out for Corvinus. Corvinus is almost at population capacity, so he probably won't mind actually jumping on through and pushing on through soon, as he gets from rams. Biology coming on in. These are some key important upgrades. Look how expensive it is, but look what it does. Increases the health by 25%. Lightweight beams as well for the rams. Going to focus on the Golden Horn Tower. At Method, though, they're in good numbers. If they can get good engagements, it should be really good for him. Lakeside victory approaching still. That's a lot of Springles from Corvinus. Not quite got the trebuchets he wants. He's gone for rounds instead. Going to engage, but this is not all that great, I think. Although, to be fair, the choke point's going to be working well for the Springholds. Slashed Cavalry, though, they do not like to fight in choke points like this. They want to get us around. Half of them aren't doing anything. They're dancing around. It's going to be relying on the Springholds, but look at the army numbers here for Valdemar. Obviously, he didn't have to pay for Imperial Age, but he paid with units. And these unit numbers, he might get onto the top of the Springholds. If he does that, that's going to be really problematic. The Rams are there, but obviously they're not going to do anything apart from take down the Golden Horn Tower. That Gamether took care of all the cavalry, and if they get on top of the Springhold, this is a lot of resources tied up into this. Corvinus down to 10 military. He's starting to lose this push. Valdemar could re-establish a bit of map control with this. Push things back. But it's going to take time to get through the siege workshop and the fortresses. And Corvinus trying to get some stables on the front line. I don't think they're going to survive for too long. Doesn't have many resources banked up either. It's a great pushback here by the kid. Question is, can he build on this? Continue to push on forward. Trouble is, always have to bear in mind, he is still stuck in the Castle Age. Finding it difficult to get to the Imperial Age. He has an option now. Could try and keep putting pressure, but I think he has to go to the Imperial Age. Otherwise he's forever stuck in the Castle Age. There it is. It's the Foreign Engineering Company. Interesting choice, I have to say. Maybe, I guess Cataphract's not really too much of an option for him with the Palatine School. Guess he has to rely on the siege and continue with the spearmen and crossbows if he can get some. Oh, Bogmather. I don't know about this. I'm not sure about the Bogmather. They won't. They've got an ability that reduces. They can ignore some armor, but you're dealing with Snatched Cavalry, and I don't know if that's going to help him. Trouble is, he doesn't have an unlimited source of gold. He's got 4 relics, though. That certainly helps. But of course, Corvinus has some space to breathe. And the question is, can the pushback be even greater with Corvinus building up the forces once again? once Valdemar does get to the Imperial Age, you feel like it's going to be go time for Corvinus, right? It's got to be go time. And there it is. There's the next stage. Corvinus, let's see what the reaction is. He's almost at population capacity. There it is. Here he goes. Why not? No reason not to. He wants to take a fight before the upgrades come in for Valdemar. And don't forget, Corvinus has got the premium upgrades. He's got biology. He's got everything he needs, really. Getting all the blacksmith upgrades too. Only a handful of them missing. And Valdemar making a move for the gold on the left side. He needs to secure that. But Corvinus now adding in a whole lot of springalds, a lot of slashed cavalry. Primarily slashed cavalry at this point. Alright, gonna break down through the walls. I'm not too sure what happened to those trebuchets. That's kind of weird. Did he just delete them, or what the heck happened there? Kind of weird. Either way. Golden Horn Tower will be taken care of pretty quickly. Yeah, I don't know if Valdemar has enough in the tank yet. Because these are still veteran at Gemether. So really, what did the age up help him with? Not that much if these are still veteran units. Golden Horn Tower goes down. Spriggl's going to demolish this army. Oh no. Yeah, I think Corvinus has done it. Unit number's not high enough here for Valdemar. And the upgrades, they just come in now, the upgrade. But he lost them. The numbers at the worst possible time before the upgrades came on in. The slasher cavalry are so tanky, it probably doesn't even matter. It's going to ride on through. At this point, Valdemar's economy is going to be overwhelmed. And even with just limited numbers, 31 military units, look at the army value. That tells you the story of the slasher cavalry. Few in number, but great in power. The Springlers behind them. It's going to be an unstoppable force. Valdemar somehow needs to build up unit numbers. He's got... yeah, that cannon's going to go down in the blink of an eye. We may not even see it because the GG might come in out and villagers are idled here for Valdemar. So even if he can make some units, he won't be able to for long because he won't have food income. And the units keep trickling in here for Corvinus. A bit of a battle on the left side, but yeah, fortress going up, so cut off of gold, as you'd expect. But yeah, this is just an insurmountable number of slashed cavalry now. There's no way back for Valdemar. Down to 5 military, and there it is. GG gets called. It was a cracking game of Age of Empires 4. Pretty slow to get going, but when it did, some back and forth, some interesting units for sure. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you did, make sure you give the video a thumbs up. Take care, and see you next time.